Welcome back to The Remote Life. My name is Han Talbot, also known as Han Meets World, and today we'll be chatting with Adam Halen. Originally from Australia, Adam is a marketer for startups and entrepreneurs, as well as a real estate investor, and is currently slow travelling around the Americas. In this episode, we talk about investing in real estate as a remote lifer, building a network, and things to think about when investing long-term as a remote lifer. So grab a coffee, a tea, or something stronger, and let's get started. And we are live. So Adam, welcome to the Remote Life podcast. How are you?
Thank you, Han. I'm fantastic today. Thank you very much for having me here. Look at this glorious view up here.
Yeah.
I know you can't see it in the podcast, but we're on the 41st floor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, was it down to the fact that we are looking out at this incredible view right now of Mexico City? We can see Alameda Park, we can see a bunch of amazing, incredible historic sites, and we've just had the most amazing breakfast as well, right?
Wonderful company, wonderful breakfast. Thank you.
Anyway, so let's crack on. Connect the dots for us, Adam. So tell us a bit about your remote life journey so far.
Well, mine's an interesting, almost a forced nomadic or journey that's transpired in late November 2019. I'd been living in Los Angeles for around 4 or 5 years, and I got the phone call from my sister to say, "Hey, Mum's dying." So it's one of those horrible things when you're overseas, you live overseas. So I went back to Australia ASAP, nursed my mother through her last days of cancer. She died in end of January, sorting out her estate beginning. Thank you, I appreciate that. Sorting out her estate, and then I was also back there to get my own personal visa through divorce. That I needed my own visa. I was on what they call a handbag visa. So it was interesting timing. I appreciate that. Mum did it at the right time for me. But then COVID came creeping through, and I saw this. I saw that the USSR, Russia had closed the borders with China, and British Airways stopped flights to China, and then all the world just hit, the COVID hit. Borders closed, international border in Australia closed, and all of a sudden I found myself stuck there for a while. Oh, yet my life was in Australia. So I got stuck without a visa back to the USA for my work. And I did get stuck there. I eventually escaped on the ESTA, which is an agreement between the US and other countries to be there as a tourist. So I escaped there, spent 90 days back in the US. Visa expired there. Flipped a coin. It was either Croatia or Mexico. It was the day before I had to leave, and ended up being Croatia. Flew to Croatia for 90 days. Had a wonderful time there. Back to the US for another 90. I've been to Qatar, Netherlands, Croatia, now Mexico, USA 3 times, Australia twice in the past 2 years.
Nice.
I've never travelled so much during a 2-year period, I don't think.
And what I love, this is what I say about people all the time, this community is so small, right? So you and I both know the amazing Tanya, who we interviewed at the end of series 2, who is the co-founder of Saltwater Nomads.
Saltwater Nomads, yeah.
Yeah, and the Digital Nomad Association.
Yes.
Fantastic lady. I think it's so incredible how no matter where you go in the world, you always find like some connection or other, like to people who you know as well.
Yeah, we just had a conversation. I said, look, I was in Croatia, went to Split. That's Australian. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Photo opportunity, took that, sent it to Tanya.
Yeah, bless her heart. So shout out to Tanya, and
Hi,
definitely
Tanya.
go listen to her episode as well. So we're going to chat a little bit more about real estate business, because that's what you do with your work. Yeah. So tell us, how did you get started? Was there a mission?
How did I get started? Well, I got started over 15 plus years ago when we first bought our own place and renovated that. I had a passion for real estate from a young age. And then we went to the US. I decided to start flipping houses and investing in real estate in the US. It was very much boots on the ground there. And I was trying to work out a way of doing things more remotely and more efficiently, rather than me spending hours and hours on freeways and in traffic. And I found a group of people that I can honestly call friends and business partners in real estate clubs and investment that I heavily rely on. The pandemic and my travels has actually forced me to do what I was trying to do, which is work more remotely. It's pushed me out that door in a big way.
Nice. So real estate is kind of your focus?
Yeah.
But did you have any other investments as well? Do you have a portfolio of other things too, or?
I have a little bit of the cryptocurrency, but I wouldn't call that much. I don't dabble in it because I think my business is more along the lines of real estate. That's where I'm experienced, and that's why I trust my instincts. And I have control.
Yeah, no, I only asked because I saw something, like, especially with the pandemic, obviously everyone's going, oh my God, my money and all the rest of it, like how do I invest in things, not better, but how do I kind of diversify so that, if another pandemic or, next recession that we have, is my money safe and are my investments safe, and making sure that my eggs are not all in one basket. So I saw this guy who mentioned having investment, having stocks and shares / cryptocurrency, having your clients and products as well. So that's why I asked.
Okay, well, interesting. I do have a digital marketing agency, and that is really just a startup. It's been 4 months old and it's doing well. I already have more clients. I started off with clients before I could even put up a Facebook page or anything else like that. So I'm a type of ready, shoot, aim type of person, or shoot, ready, aim, as my friend Melina says. And anyway, so I'm involved in business, but I don't have all my eggs in one basket, no.
Yeah.
And I've learned that. I've learned. The pandemic crushed me for a bit.
I think a lot of people have kind of sat up a bit and gone, right, let's get really serious about this investment thing. So what are the benefits, do you think, of investing in real estate as a remote lifer / digital nomad?
The benefits, well, I wouldn't know any different really, but the benefits I'm having is that I can leverage off the investment clubs that I belong to back in the US. I'll give a big shout out to New Wealth Advisors Club, which is the real estate club I am a member of. It's a great organisation that's in 3 states, which is Florida, Miami, Florida, and Hawaii, and in Riverside, Southern California. And I rely on them heavily for leverage. That is not only walking through properties, looking at properties, but also being able to finance it. And I think that's the essence of being remote is leverage. Yeah, does that make sense? Like,
I mean, you're welcome to explain more. I get you, but maybe you can explain a bit more about leverage and what that means.
Well, I can find the properties remotely because I know what I'm looking for, and then I rely on my contacts and the club to do their due diligence, and we partner. I don't believe you can do anything yourself and then be successful at it. You have to rely on people. Sure, a couple of times you get burnt along the way or you learn your lessons. But in the end, if you persevere and you've got grit in what you're doing, you'll eventually have success. I mean, seriously, I look at properties and I acquire them remotely. I've never touched them, never seen them.
Wow.
So it's not a thing. I don't worry about how the backsplash looks, or it's 4 walls and a ceiling, and what's wrong with it, what's repaired. The essential thing that comes into my head here, and it is, real estate is important because there's 3 things that humans fundamentally need: food, water, shelter. They don't need crypto.
Well, have you seen the news about where that could be going in the next few years? But that's another conversation entirely, right?
Completely understand. And you know what? We're in the blockchain for real estate as well. I mean, we're doing real estate stuff in blockchain world. I mean, it's the transactions. It's actually cutting out middlemen. And if you're a realtor at the moment, I'd be a little bit concerned about that space as well. Just an FYI.
Do you want to give us a hint why, or?
Many roles are becoming obsolete with the technology. People are being a little bit more astute as to fees or charges. I mean, even what they call an escrow company, which is where the exchange of funds get done and searches get done. But blockchain is securing this in a different way. I can't explain so much about it because I'm not the expert, but I'm really looking deep into that.
Yeah, fair enough. So just backtracking a little bit, you mentioned about getting burned at some point. So is there anything that, as a first-time investor potentially, I know whether you're someone who has already got property in your home country or you're starting your real estate journey altogether, is there anything that remote lifers specifically should know?
Always keep the golden rule in mind.
Which is?
Well, many people think it's do unto others as you'd like them done unto you, right? Which is one. But also the other golden rule is the person that holds the gold makes the rules.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have no money, you can still invest in real estate, but you have to do a lot of legwork, you have to do a lot of research, and you have to bring something to the table. So you can still be an investor, but you're investing your time and your effort, your knowledge and your skills into that. There's so many people out there who are looking to invest in properties and they just don't know where to start. They have the money and you may have the experience. So the question I think is worrying about how to be burned, how to avoid that. You have to build relationships, solid relationships. Don't do business with friends. Don't do business with friends. Number one rule.
Okay.
Do business with business people. They become your friends.
So for the first timer, then they've gone, oh, okay, so I'm not going to go start out with my friend then. Where would you advise starting first?
An investment club.
Okay.
An investment group. In the US, I strongly recommend New Wealth Advisors Club because it's one that I have my heart in. I've been with since 2016 and I've had a lot of success. I mean, I went to the US looking for people to partner with, went to developers, builders, contractors, investors, and they were like, well, what's in it for, what do you want to partner with? You've got nothing to bring to the table. I couldn't get a loan in the US. So when I found this, when I had money, but I had no credit rating. So I knew what leverage was and I needed to find others that have had experience in the marketplace that I could ride on their coattails. What I in fact found with a group of people that were out to help and assist others and help each other. Everyone's got their lane they swim in. I know what I'm good at. I'm not good at doing contract work. I'm not good at doing the colours and the creativity, but I'm damn good at doing the creative acquisitions and the creative sales memories, and I'm really, really good at finding those needles in a haystack. And if we can, avoid using realtors.
Okay.
Avoid using realtors.
Again, why?
I don't see value in them. I really don't. Okay, because look, I did have a realtor's license. I let it expire because I just didn't see that. Well, actually, it hindered what I was trying to accomplish, which is helping homeowners.
Right.
Helping homeowners in distressed situations, as well as being able to do creative things myself. And under a realtor's license, realtors are there to provide a service, and they provide a wonderful service, but they're there to serve their own needs.
Sure.
And look, I'm going to cop some shit for that. I don't care. They're not my clients.
No.
Okay, but I never buy through a realtor. Why? Because I'm buying at retail value. I want to buy from the seller. I'm here to solve problems, and being in real estate, you actually solve problems. I'm solving the seller's problems. The problem is they want to get somewhere else, they can't afford it, or they've had some disaster in their life. And if I can solve their problem, it's great. If they walk away a better person, I do too. They walk into a better situation. But if I'm with a realtor, not only am I paying more, but I'm not solving any problems.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. And so it's interesting also that you mentioned about joining a club. Do you have to be accredited? Is there a system for getting into those kind of clubs?
Good question. No, there's not.
I only ask because you were saying about realtors, and therefore, obviously, it sounds like it's great to go into these clubs to network and things like that. But then, how do we know that the people you're then meeting are as real and have got your best interests?
It's very interesting. Well, I've seen people spat out of the investment club that I belong to because they just don't have the altruistic heart involved. The mission statement is helping people. It is putting a dollar before a person. Sorry, just put it the other way around. Putting people before a dollar. Putting people before a dollar is the most important the most important thing. If you behave like a shark in real estate investment, there's always a bigger shark.
So how then would you? Because when I was in Croatia, I ended up down a YouTube rabbit hole of real estate education and what to look out for and all the rest of it. And obviously people say go with us to help you on your journey, pick a lawyer, blah blah blah.
Get an LLC, get an S corp, make sure you're a company, make sure you put your property in a trust. And hey, magic! These are the services that we offer, and they're $20,000. It's come on.
So how do you know who to look for? And who's got your interests? Or do you not? Again, is this where your
actions
club
speak?
network?
Yeah, look, actions speak louder than words.
Okay.
So the club that I belong to, the two founders, and their heart was so much in this that seeing what they do for the community, and they house homeless families.
Sure.
They don't provide a check. They house homeless families as part of the club. They do food drives for the homeless community. Melina Boswell is on the board of directors for A Path of Life, which is a homeless shelter, and it's mostly women and children. You know, really seeing where people's heart is. The essence of these clubs is actually putting people before a dollar. Helping people keep their homes is more important than taking it from them. It's ridiculous. I know that sounds strange as an investment, but it's ridiculous what goes around comes around. Like the laws of reciprocity is the more people you help, the more business comes your way. You know?
Well, no, exactly. That is one thing that we chatted about. So, a little bit of context. Adam and I met in a mastermind at Selena on Friday, and I had this question about like how do you... we had one question each for this mastermind that we could talk about and get some advice on. And mine was about being able to come to a new community and also be able to leave a positive impact. Because, as I mentioned to you guys, I've been getting some comments about gentrification on my TikTok, and like I know that there's a history like of expats and whatnot in places like Mexico City who come in, stay in their bubbles, drive up prices, and it is upsetting locals. Locals are a lot more welcoming than, dare I say it, than they're not here, but the comments are here, and I've never had that amount of comments about it than I have since being here. So it has raised the question. The comments don't bother me personally, but it does get you thinking, how do you then, as a remote lifer or an expat, a digital nomad, then do exactly that?
You know, there's an interesting two parts to that question of community. I think of community as not only being the geographical area of your environment and the gentrification of that, or the but also the community spirit and the community environment. Now, I've seen that as a specific example in Venice Beach, California, where you've got two parts of the community divided because some want it the old way, the Bohemian way, and kind of the scuzzy way. Scuzzy way? It's kind of a really eclectic, dirty way, and then you've got all this wealth coming through and changing it. Now, it's divisive, but yet you cannot change the natural order of an area growing. If not, it deteriorates. It's just to what effect that actually is done. Is it done as a whole boom and wipe an area out and to come down to green fields? I don't believe in that. There needs to be some sort of happy mesh with the old and the new. Yeah. So whether that's, I'm assuming kind of from what you're saying, right, whether that is making sure you're not investing your dollars, but putting your dollars into the local community. It's not just in is still, like you said, maybe doing its drives, its bits and pieces to actually give back and still create that impact. Well, the wealth that comes through, that and again into Venice, the wealth or the next wave that comes through is very good for local business. It's very good for taxes in that area for schooling. It's very good for roads and infrastructure. And I would say the same in Mexico City here. If there's no gentrification and the place starts to deteriorate because, you see it, a nice area becomes a slum. It's just to what extent that becomes. Are people priced out of that environment? Yeah. But also the homeowners do benefit from gentrification. Yeah. I mean, it from West Adams is another area in Los Angeles that is specific to that. Sorry, but it's just because I've noticed it in Croatia as well. It came up. I can't honestly remember where I read it, but it also came up that Airbnb owners, so therefore whether it's expats, whether it's EU nationals, whoever it happens to be, coming in and purchasing properties and then turning them into expensive Airbnbs that only really need to be actually rented half the year for high season because of the prices are kind of better suited to other countries. Kind of where does that happy medium lie? I think for me at the moment it's more of a conversation. It's finding that fine line, I think, like you said, between where are we benefiting, to what point are we benefiting by coming in, and where does that line end? It's not necessarily the question, but I think it's been playing on my mind a lot, and I guess that's kind of one of the big questions I would assume in the next few years. I know that I benefit from going into an area that previously an Airbnb wasn't, because I get to experience the local culture and the local environment. And I won't go to I won't go to McDonald's or anything. I don't normally anyway, but you know what I'm saying. I want to buy from the street markets, and I want to buy from the street vendors, and I want to engage with the locals, and I want to talk to the people in the area. Not being evasive, not being invasive, but trying to experience their environment, experience their world. I know maybe that's selfish, but maybe they don't want me there. Maybe they don't want us there, but who knows?
I pause again because I suppose there's that old saying, isn't it? You're not going to please everybody.
No.
And I think as long as you're aware of who you are coming into the community, and I think because a lot of these kind of comments come from a space of a group of people at some point in time have come in with a certain type of entitlement and are not very aware of it. And I think that's where it then rubs up local communities the wrong way, whether that's here in Mexico City, whether that's in Europe, wherever that happens to be. And it's understandable. You've got some people coming in going, oh, well, I've paid to be here or whatever. No, this is our culture first and your community second kind of thing. Just because you have more money to throw at it. So I think it's a funny one, isn't it? I think there's no obvious answer.
It's something that just really flashed to me then was it's very much like when I go trekking. When I trekked through the Everest Base Camp through Nepal, and it's just a remarkable experience. And even back in Australia and other places I go to, there's a number one rule in my head that says don't leave anything there. Take it with you. Not even an apple core, because an apple is not native to that region. You don't know the damage that it could do. You don't know.
Yeah.
So don't dispose of your trash. Don't leave it there. Take everything with you. Go and experience that environment. Go and experience that culture. But don't damage it.
Yeah.
Don't leave your footprints. Don't leave your footprints.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think I feel like not everyone's going to agree on this certain point at some points. I guess it's just doing what feels right. We talked about this on Friday, right?
Yeah.
It's about the intention behind what you do. It's all about your intended reason for going, whether that's good or bad. And I think that's going to have the impact there. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, we're very selfish humans. I mean, we give to be selfish. We take to be selfish. We experience life to be selfish. But as long as we're making an impact in someone else's life, I think even if it's just a local community, but even if it's just the old lady that I spoke to last night, who we tried to have a conversation with at a restaurant in a market, and I left her smiling, she left me laughing. I think that's part of what being a remote traveller is about.
Do you think there's been kind of an increase in self-awareness, community awareness, giving back, and just general social awareness, even just a smidge, since the pandemic, where we've literally had no choice but to actually become aware of the social issues that are coming up, no matter what that is? And there have been a few that have suddenly come through, in a very obvious way. Do you think that will have a play on how we start running business and running investments next?
I've actually got goosebumps you saying that, because I have seen it and I have felt it, and we have during this period have had so much time to be introspective, also self-indulgent in many aspects. Social media has played an incredible part in this, of what we see and what we do and how we behave. The people I associate with and have met, I don't know if it's me that's changed or us as individuals, and as a group we have changed, but I do see a shift, and it's a nice shift.
One thing that people who follow Han Meets World, they'll know this, but during the pandemic, so I was in influence marketing when we first went into the first lockdown, and everyone was going, oh my God, is this the end of blogging? I was like, well, no, because we're just going back to our bedrooms and doing everything that kind of started there anyway. So I started this whole thing around creating content from home, going into the local space and using that as much as possible, and creating all these fancy Instagram images. And from that, it definitely for me brought up just this self-awareness, even where somebody with a camera, where you go into a place, and it definitely has played on my mind a lot more, just being a content creator here. I've taken a whole bunch of Instagram cafes off my Google Maps saved list that I hadn't really personally wasn't super interested in going to, but it was kind of like when in town. But I know that for me, it definitely has come up more, and I'm hoping definitely there'll be more people who are a lot more self-aware of, like, as you said, leaving the place that they went like they've never been there, or in a better condition entirely.
Leave a better condition.
So, no, I think I'm hoping that more of us do ride this wave, and we do start to actually like become more conscious for sure.
I don't know why it flashes into my head. Maybe because I'm in Mexico City, or we're in Mexico City. But thinking of the Spanish that came into this place and tried to gentrify and leave their footprint and leave it a better place for them. It was their opinion. They changed a whole community of Indians and indigenous people into a whole new world. Who knows? A bit controversial maybe, but...
What do you mean?
Well, they thought they were doing the right thing, didn't they? The Spanish did. By Christianifying.
Yeah, I don't know if they were, yeah. I wouldn't say their intentions were entirely pure, personally, but...
No.
They saw some new opportunities.
Gold and silver and... Interesting, though. I wonder if they were the digital nomads or... No, delete that.
It was said here, but also no, we don't condone that. Anyway, good. Do you know what? That's a good leeway into. Are there any downsides to investing in real estate as an expat or digital nomad?
Yeah, look, you've got to really trust your instincts and trust people, and hold your money close. The downside is that you do have to rely heavily on others, and I see that as a good thing as well, because it really there's enough real estate and enough money to be made out there without holding it all to yourself. I'm in property deals where there's 4 of us.
Yeah, that's great.
The downside, I actually can't think of a downside. I really enjoy what I do. It's so much fun. I mean, I've got a new platform coming, which is called Real Distress. Real estate distress, real distress, where we're helping homeowners who are in financial distress, facing mortgage difficulties, and helping them keep their homes or taking them to a better place than where I found them. So that is by linking up professionals and others in the industry who are able to provide free information and experience that just may be of service to them.
Nice.
Now, of course, if they're in a position to sell, then definitely that's where we come into it as well, because we've got the power to be able to do so. But the number one goal is to get people from the stressed out situation into a better situation.
Nice. And
just a plug.
Yeah, cheeky plug. We love a cheeky plug here. Like, that's what we're all about. So, just on that as well. Like, so obviously your investments are in residential, right?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on investing in?
Bingo. Commercial.
Retail,
okay.
Commercial, yeah.
Commercial. That's my next couple of steps.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So dealing with businesses, I'd rather invest in the business of commercial than the building itself. I'm interested in the cash flow, and to be able to control a business asset without having to own it. That's a good play.
Interesting. Okay. So you're kind of interested more in the investment side of it, not necessarily in the sort of day-to-day, like, kind of business running things, or
not the running of it. People can run it themselves. I mean, laundromats are a great business.
Okay.
Laundromats, pizza joints are great business. But I don't want to be the manager of that and run the day-to-days. It's the... Okay, so you know that McDonald's is not a food company. It's actually a real estate company and a toy company. It just happens to sell food, right? So that's along the lines of that. You can make a lot of money without owning the property. You can control the assets without actually having title on it or deed on it, or let's use another word, ownership of that property. That's a whole rabbit hole. That's a whole rabbit hole. You don't have to necessarily own a property to be a real estate investor or a property investor or to make any money of it. Let's call it down the lines of options and Anyway, another rabbit hole.
Cheeky plug for Adam.
Another
You've
rabbit
got more
hole.
questions. Go chat.
Don't have. I love talking real estate. So yeah, the creative side of real estate is fantastic.
I only asked because I was talking to somebody else about this on another episode, but I know that I was back in PR, property PR back in 2017, and even then they were saying how back in the UK we have high streets and that was the shopping centres around the world, malls, all the rest of it. And they were saying how it's like the death of retail, basically. But then actually what they were predicting was that we were going to start having this experiential type of retail instead. And we're starting to actually see it come to fruition now, whether that's through, the Amazon shops that we see. Gymshark, I mention all the time. They're my absolute favourite example. They've got a store in Regent Street in London, but it's a sales funnel. It's not an actual store like we know stores. So you go in for a bit of community. I think they're going to do classes, you chat to people. They have a little bit of product actually out, but then what you do is you go away, use their store online as normal to actually purchase something. But the whole point of the store is that you get the experience and you get the brand of this.
And you become an evangelist for that brand. And I see the Gymshark people walking around with it, brandishing it.
They're my absolute favourite. They're like gold standard marketing.
I think it's very clever, and I've seen the influencers online and just people walking around with it. It's a brand that has resonated and stuck in my mind. Plus, it's a very cool name. It's a very cool name. Commercial. I'm not sure about the retail side myself, but commercial for me also means multifamilies. Australia and the UK have a different variation. The multifamily is like an apartment block. In the US, you can have condominiums which are individually owned, or you have multifamilies which could be a duplex to a quadruplex to a multiplex, and they're deemed as commercial properties as well, where they are all just rental units. Yeah, they're very lucrative.
Yeah, so it sounds like it just depends on where you happen to be in the world, and also what it is you're kind of wanting to get out of it, I guess. At the end of the day.
Look, any country is a worthwhile investment. Again, get to know your people, get to know a network of people. Education is vital. Education is vital. Take as much as you can. You can get stuff online. You can join clubs and do things like that. But there's nothing that beats experience. I won't do that again because I know.
Sure. Where would you go to find all that information? Because obviously you did your certificate, but...
My certificate?
Sorry, your real estate...
Oh, yes, I got a realtor's license in the US, but that's really only a license to be able to sell properties for people and buy properties for people as a service.
Okay. So where would you personally go to start educating yourself?
My personal preference is where I started, New Wealth Advisors Club. You can look it up.
Yeah.
It's easy to find, nwac.com, New Wealth Advisors Club on all social media, but you can contact me. You'll see I'm on Instagram, adam.halen. I'm on Facebook, Adam Halen.
Do my outro for me.
There we go, sorry. Look, use that internet, join clubs, join groups where people are already doing stuff. Don't listen to the gurus, because the gurus are selling education. They're selling white labeled stuff. They're selling outdated stuff. They're selling things that if the business is more about selling guru stuff, less about acquiring properties and how to flip and how to invest, then there's a problem there. But yeah, look, I've paid money. I've paid a lot of money for my experience in education. Without that, I would not have done the success that I did, and still having, especially remotely. Yeah,
no, that makes total sense. Just, you don't have to give too long an answer for this one, but just out of general interest.
You're saying that was a long one last time?
No. But just in case you were thinking you needed to.
Just in case.
So where has been your favourite place to invest, both from a financial and community perspective? And that could be two different places or one that does both.
And I'm going to throw in a goal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a goal. Okay. They're definitely Australia and the US.
Interesting, okay.
The US is the biggest real estate market in the world. It fluctuates. I mean, it can start off as you can get $20,000 properties that have a capital growth of 0%, and people think, oh, I can get a $20,000 property in that arse end of nowhere. I was about to say something else, but
we're all adults here.
We're all adults. And then you can have a 25, $35 million property in California, and you go, what's the difference? I mean, oh, well, there's a big difference, but but the US is definitely the biggest fish in the pond.
Sure.
Australia, because I've had so much experience there, and there's a reason why I went to the US for real estate is because you can do a lot more. There's a lot more experience. There's a lot more creativity involved. There's a lot more experience there. There's a lot more properties. I mean, it's on steroids in comparison to the little pond that Australia is. And yes, my Australian family and friends, I'll cop that from you. But you're a little fish in a little pond. Now, as for goals, my goal is to have a property in a couple of countries. So I have Australia, I have the US, I want Croatia, I want Split. You know, I want a nice place in Greece. I'd love a place here in Mexico. Maybe Puerto Vallarta, maybe Cancun, maybe somewhere else. And there's no reason why you can't. There's absolutely no reason why you can't. Okay, well, I'm not allowed to own a property in that country. That's all right. Make friends with someone that can. They've got something that you haven't got. You've got something that they haven't got. You may have the money. They may have the ability to put name on title. There's contracts and agreements that can be put in place. And by the way, just an FYI, contracts are only as good as the person signing them.
Strong words, very strong words. So from
Ask me how I know.
how do you know?
And how much does it cost to pursue that contract? Is it worth it? Sometimes it's better to just go, you know what? Lesson learned. Fuck you. You can erase that. Oh, we're all adults. We're all adults. Well, some of us are not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But for sure, I know there's a reason why I'm remote still and not. Keeping that spirit alive. Where has been your favourite community though, like in the world, for remote lifers, but also, both again?
The favourite community. I'm going to say Split. Split was my favourite community. I was there for 3 months. I went on to an island called VAR, HVAR for those that can't understand that VAR. The community there in Split was fantastic. A big shout out to my friends Emma, my German friend Jorg, my English friend Jeremy, and definitely for Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya.
They were a community there that made it really special for me, and we had a lot of fun, and we've remained in good contact. The community here has been fantastic at the places we've been staying. That's a really hard thing to it's like when you said, what's your favourite place you visited, and it's like, what's your favourite song? I don't.
For what?
For what period in my life?
Yeah.
For what period in my life?
For what mood?
For what mood? How exactly? And I'm just going to interrupt you. The mist and the smog is slightly clearing, so we're getting to see the hills, and I see the favelas up the top. Favelas, thank you. I don't know favelas. I know in Brazil, but anyway, the houses going up the side, or is that just rock?
Definitely houses.
Houses, okay.
We'll get the pictures after this. We're nearly wrapping up, I promise. Do you have any predictions for real estate, remote life specific real estate investments in the future?
I think it's going to grow.
Yeah.
I'm going to help it grow. I'd love to help this grow. If, as an example, I've had people knocking on my door saying, Adam, can you find me a property in Split in Croatia? Tell me if there's anything there.
It's so interesting you were saying about Split as well, because I was so convinced that there was no potential there, because everyone was saying, what I watched on YouTube was the population's decreasing. It's actually tough for anyone who's not a Croatian or EU national to get property. It's so interesting now speaking to you, and you're saying that actually that's where you want to go.
If I have a business in Croatia, which is easy to do, I can buy property.
Okay, gotcha.
I can buy property, and I can also get a loan. Now, if I'm a permanent resident, I can also have a business. But if I'm part of the EU, look, even if I'm not, by leverage, again, the art of leverage is, if you find someone you can partner with and you bring something to the table, they bring something to the table, then that's a happy partnership. You don't have to physically be there to look after it.
Yeah, no. that gives me hope personally. So that's interesting. That's good.
I mean, I'm going to look at one of the had properties I've never seen before. As I said, I've never seen. I know they physically exist because someone was on the ground and had a video to show me, and I've never touched them, but yet I made money from them. There's no personal attachment. It's an investment. There's 4 walls and a ceiling. It doesn't matter which country it's in, which suburb it's in. It doesn't matter. As long as it's generating revenue for you as an investment, then that's a positive thing. If you want to retire in Greece, if you want to retire in any country, start sourcing something in that area. Make it work for you. Get it generating revenue. Then when it's ready for you, go and live in it.
I mean, I'm already
How romantic.
about it.
Honestly, there's anything is possible.
Yeah.
There's always, if you solve someone's problems, you will get something as well. And real estate investing, as I'm concerned, is about solving problems.
Do you think there are any places in the world specifically that will start seeing more, like, kind of a rise in remote life expat investment?
Oh, yeah, definitely Croatia.
Yeah.
Only because first-hand experience, Dubrovnik, and I believe Romania is also on the rise for that. Definitely the South American countries. Where was it that was just really heavily promoting? It wasn't Canary Islands.
Although they are promoting a lot at the moment. They're very big on digital nomad tourism and things.
Yeah, I mean, creating environments, having hotels converted into co-living dormitory or even hotel rooms and co-working. In the co-working, I really think that's a great investment. That was really something I'd like to pursue, is the digital nomad space. Make a creative environment, co-working spaces, fun and lifestyle, reasonable price.
Yeah,
The business model is good.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we've definitely seen a massive rise of so many different digital nomad visas in so many different countries in the last year.
Because we bring so much cash.
Yeah. Even places like Dominica, I was on my flight here, and they put ads before the films, and the 2 ads were obviously British Airways and come and live in Dominica, come and get the citizenship for Dominica. So yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of content creators now going out there too. So
okay, well maybe that's the next stop.
Caribbean, anyone? And then final question from me.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank. Home is where?
My 2.5 suitcases are.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Adam. It's been really fun.
Appreciate it, Han. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Remote Life. And thank you, Adam, for your awesome insights. You can find links to Adam's Instagram below. Tag Adam at adam.halen and myself, Han, at hanmeetsworld, and tell us where you would love to live in the world. Thank you so much again for listening, and we can't wait to remote work with you again soon.